what I saw the representation of God in the Black church. But then see it's pervasive in the synagogue, in the temple, elsewhere. And I used to point my fingers at the Black ministers, Michael said, having the power with 75% of the congregants being women. But then I thought about it, if the man who was at the helm of the seat of power was doing the work, then the people who were supposed to receive the word were supposed to be so empowered that their lives and their communities were to change. And when you go outside the sanctuary, the $23 million sanctuaries like they have in Queens, or the Potter's House in Texas, or Trinity Church in Chicago and other places, and you saw the area around them the same, then I not only look at the men, but I have to start looking at 75% of the women. I don't care if men come to church or not, because it doesn't mean that a woman's going to go to church and get a godly man. Because if the power of the impact of the community is not evident, the word hasn't fallen, and for me the seed has not spawned into what it's supposed to be, and then flowered into the fruit. So it's not where you meet a man, it's where you're supposed to meet God. For me, church is a filling station. The vehicle is when I, the church representative, goes into that sanctuary, go out and to do the work. But it's a very deep conversation for women, because there are so many of us that, I was sharing with the sister earlier, if I was able to reorientate everyone to their knowledge of God as a Christian minister, though I studied Islam, it was first how the Bible was written. So not only would you have a reinterpretation of the gender question, but a sexual question, but also the spirituality basis, just going to the sanctuary just to hear the word. I hate when Christians say, what would Jesus say? That's a cop-out. Do what Jesus did is the work. And then I ain't looking at the man that's not there. But to talk about women and the church is a longer conversation this forum could hold. And as far as spirituality, then you got to really be able to crack the text. Michael, a lot of his writings talk about how African Americans, when we say, oh, you got to keep the word solid, you got to be Bible literalists, but we didn't believe in slaves obeying your masters. As a Christian woman in my first marriage, being a victim of domestic violence, when they said, sit home and be quiet and silent, the man would teach me. My husband wasn't teaching me anything, and he was beating me, and the church was saying, be silent. At certain times, that last hit, I became Mike Tyson and said, hell no, God, you can do it aside, put that man aside, put the church aside, it's what I care, let's take it on. So we all interpret the Bible, so spirituality is a connected
No, let us speak.
It's a conversation that you just can't have on that of what spirituality is, because it means so much to different people. But for women, the sanctuary ain't where you're going to meet your mate. It's what you do, the work is where you're going to find somebody that, to me, is equal to you, even though I met Michael in the church.
Kanye West. That was her first husband. She didn't say that.
Yeah, I heard. She said it.
First husband. Whose name was Dyson, by the way, but that's another story. Anybody else want to? Yeah.
If I could ask a question about music, you seem to pretty much understand the hip-hop culture. I work for a radio station and a TV station, and we program a lot of music, urban hip-hop music for young adults. So I'm often approached by people who want to have a conversation about the images that hip-hop artists put out. Basically, I guess most recently, the Jay-Z thing, the video, the song, State of New York. In there, he has a line where he says, Jesus can't save you. The life doesn't begin until the church ends, which sparked off a lot of conversation about does Jay-Z believe in God, and that led on to conversations about people saying, well, you know what? There's a lot of hip hop artists who are committed to a different kind of God, a secret society, and that there's this whole thing about giving up blood sacrifices and other people but die for other artists to climb higher. I don't know how much you want to talk about this or what you know about it, but I'd be interested in hearing your opinion, because I really don't know how to take it. It's a brand new conversation for me, but I'm being approached by it quite often, and I'm just trying to see what you might think about it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a heck of a question. I'll show you a picture with Reverend Marcia Dyson and Jay-Z from Saturday night's Two Kings party. I don't know what it has to do with anything, but I just want to break that down for you. The irreligious, irreverent might be starting right here. I just think that's crazy. I gotta tell you, I've seen these videos, but you know, the minister who goes around saying hip hop is evil. Like, really? Wow. And trying to find if you play this backward and you say this, and Jay-Z, they tried to say he was part of the Masons, and not only that song, Run This Town Tonight, where he gave Doug Morris a fifth, paid his money to get his master tapes back. Does that signify that he's part of the secret society? I mean, I do know Jay-Z. I do know him. And in fact, I got a book coming out on next year on the 10th anniversary of Blueprint. And I got a book that I just published on Nas on the Zillmatic on the 15th anniversary. So I want to mark these seminal moments in hip-hop. I respect Jay-Z as an artist, as an entrepreneur. He says he doesn't have one religion, he's a spiritual guy. He believes in love and he believes in God, but he doesn't want to divide it up in terms of religion. A lot of people like that. But to conclude from that because in fact, I agree with him when he says that Jesus can't save you, the light ends when you leave church. That's when it should begin, if the light is real. And Jesus engages us to save each other. Right? I mean, he had a line, I'm from the place where the churches are the flakiest. Niggas been praying to God so long, they atheists.
Yep.
Right? Stop praying. Get up. Do something. Keep praying. And you ain't doing nothing. Right? And I know Reverend Marcia want to jump in on that. But I'm saying that, but to conclude, the Illuminati, trying to figure out if he's a part of a Masonic order, whether hip-hop is evil. I believe some of the worst music in the world is gospel music. If it's ill-informed and has no value, that is rooted into a theologically sophisticated network. Jesus will never say no. You're tripping. You're just tripping. You're lying. You're just lying. I told you no this morning. Hell no. Okay, that was me. That wasn't Jesus. I won't get in no trouble here, man. But I'm saying, God will never say no. What? Are you on crack? Jesus stands in the Garden of Gethsemane. Let this cup pass from me. Right? And if God's own beloved son, if you believe that narrative, is getting told, no, I don't know who you think you is, that you ain't gonna hear the word no. Now my point simply is this though. So much people trying to invest in all these arcane theories, looking at every interpretation to see whether or not they are, worshiping the devil and stuff. I'm sure there must be some devil worshipers in the church. I swear, I used to pastor 3 churches. I knew there was some devils up in there. I was like, Jesus, I know everybody ain't saved in the church. Including the choir director sometimes. Coming there, she was drunk. She had the spirits. It was what the Holy well, who you worship? Cognac! So anyway, so my point is, that trying to beat up on hip-hop and all this is just ludicrous to me, as inherently wrong. All music is agnostic at that level. It's what you do with it. Sometimes I don't want to hear gospel music. I want to hear the gospel for me comes from blues music. Been down so long, down, look up to me. That speaks to me more than and sometimes I want to hear the Negro spiritual. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Want to hear that? Sometimes I want to hear, some hip-hop. Somebody wake me up dreaming. I started as a seed, the semen, swimming upstream, planted in the womb while screaming. On the top was my pops, my mama hollering stop from a single drop. This is what they got. Not to disrespect my people, but my papa was a loser, only planning if my mama was an abuser. And even as a seed, I can see his plan for me. Stranded on welfare, another broken family. How's that evil? Inherently evil? Really? Now, some of it is crazy. Some of it is sexist, patriarchal, homophobic. Some of it elevates values that shouldn't be, but that's across the board. Same people going to church singing about loving Jesus, practicing patriarchy, sexism, homophobia, practicing self-hatred.